How's everyone doing? It's Indiana here with Emptoraudio. Well, today we're taking a look at the Fosi Audio P3. This is their new tube preamp. If you've seen my previous reviews, kind of things like on the Fosi Audio V3 amplifier, of course, that one did very well. Probably one of my favorite, models of the year there. Just sounded absolutely incredible. Well, Fosi Audio is kind of continuing that kind of tradition there of really focusing on the sound quality and trying to, of course, pull away, any of the design specs on just stuff that is not needed. Just make a simple, good sounding unit and focus on that entirely. And that's kind of what they're trying to continue to do here. If you look at the P3, I've got one actually right here. Very simple little preamplifier. It does have, of course, two tubes on the top, give it a little bit more warmth there. When you look at this unit really closely here, and you look at the front control panel here, everything is nice, high quality. Only thing that I would say is does feel a little a little cheap. You can kind of hear the echo on the inside of the unit there when you, of course, use that switch there. But all the knobs here, they feel very, very smooth. They feel very high quality. There's a little headphone jack in the front there, and that sounds okay. Kind of like every unit you're going to find that's going to be not super expensive at a built-in headphone amplifier. They're kind of just okay made. They're not phenomenal quality. But the P3, though, it's a little bit more unique of a situation there. So if you're, using maybe like another amplifier for your desktop and you always like to change out your preamplifiers, not super common. I like to kind of always use maybe an all-in-one unit or a separate DAC for something. So things like a preamp aren't going to be super, super common on a desktop audio setup. But if you're using maybe like a turntable, maybe you have a CD player, something else you're using that you want to have a preamp, and of course you're going full separates with, this would be a great option for you. Now, listening to this thing, I think it sounds really, really good. It's just definitely more of a kind of out there kind of unit, whereas the V3 really made sense in the kind of the category that's in. The P3 honestly is a little bit more unique in what it's designed to do, with the the tube stage there, trying to add more warmth. It's definitely got more of a niche market for where it's trying to aim for. And of course, at only $80, it's really not super expensive, because pretty much anything else in the system you're going to have with a P3 is likely to be way more expensive. I don't think you're going to have probably an $80 amp in there, probably not an $80 turntable. So it's definitely going to be a little bit of an outlier there for the overall price of this unit. I think it sounds really good. I don't think it's V3 levels of sounding absolutely amazing. I know they tried to add in, of course, the tube stage there to try to add a little bit more warmth, a little bit more sound there. I think it does a good job at that. I will say, I don't think the P3 is like blowing me out of the water like the V3 did, though. It sounds good, yes, but it's not anything revolutionary, anything too crazy there. Very clean sounding. Of course, the highs are very warm. Everything sounds as it should. Adding in Bluetooth is fantastic there. I think we could do without the Bluetooth, maybe focus a bit more on higher quality tubes, in my opinion. But of course, everything is there. Front controls are, of course, rock solid, and it's got everything you need to. Moving to the back, very simple setup on the back here. We've, of course, got, the RCA inputs, RCA outputs. We have the little, where is it here? The antenna for the Bluetooth there. Auxiliary out, again, not really a sub out there, so not designed to have a subwoofer going out. I mean, you maybe could try to use it as a subwoofer out. That might work here or there, but I wouldn't even try it. I know they've told us in the past that, hey, yes, that's not designed for a subwoofer out there. But overall, guys, this is a nice little unit here if you need, a really compact preamp. And if you're going to say, hey, what preamp would you trust for under $100? This is probably the one I would go with, just by the quality of the controls alone, just how clean it sounds. It really doesn't add anything or subtract anything from the sound that you're trying to get at. The other thing I would say would be cool to have, instead of Bluetooth, maybe like a phono in would be kind of cool. I know it's not going to be a super high quality phono in, but I'd rather have a phone input than having Bluetooth input there. Bluetooth, of course, is becoming super, super common. Pretty much every model number has Bluetooth somewhere in the device now when it comes to, of course, preamps and built-in all-in-one amplifiers. So becoming more and more common there, but phono is definitely coming back here pretty quick, and I'd like to see more phono and stuff. I know a lot of people use turntables now. becoming very, very common there. But, the P3 here, I think is a really rock solid choice. It's not, breaking any new ground here when it comes to preamps or, of course, phono preamp, or sorry, tube preamps here. But I think it's a really solid, $80 preamp there, and I think it does a really good job of what it does best at just being really affordable, sounding really good, being very compact. And of course, you can always do things like upgrade the tubes later on if you wanted to. Bluetooth, adding a little bit of future proofing there. But, it's definitely a really good sounding unit for what it is, but definitely, keep your expectations in check there. It's an $80 preamp. It's not going to sound like an $8,000 preamp. And of course, you're going to have the tubes there to give you a little bit extra warmth. So, really, guys, that's kind of all my thoughts on it. It's not bad in any way, but it's not breaking new ground like the V3 did, which that's pretty hard to top what the V3 did. Just sounding absolutely incredible, just having a nice, really, really full sound to it. And of course, it's hard to do that again with a preamp. Of course, a different type of unit there, sounding totally different, guys. But guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. If you've tried the new P3, really curious to hear what you think about it so far. And I'm going to keep testing this thing out. Definitely like a lot of the new Fosi audio direction here. Instead of saying, hey, we're not going to do all these, silly features probably never going to use in the unit, but we're going to just give you guys a really good sounding unit is what we're seeing a lot right now. So thanks, guys, for watching. Take care. Have a great day, and stay safe out there.